Hello, this is Hydrofall here, and today I am back making another video. And today I'm going to be making an Apex Legends video. There's going to be a guide to get more FPS in Apex Legends. This game just came out a few days ago, and I've been playing it a ton, and I wanted to know how to get more FPS, but I couldn't really find any good guides, so I'm going to be making a guide on it. Some of these tips are going to be reused from my old FPS guides, but that's just because they're universal tips. I know a lot of you might be new to this video or my channel, so you don't know these old tips. So anyway, let's get into the video. So this first tip is actually going to be for pretty much exclusively people with NVIDIA graphics cards. I'm not sure how to do this on AMD. I'm sure there is a way, but I am just going to start this part off with NVIDIA graphics cards because I have one, and I know that a lot of you do too, so this might help you. So first you want to right click on your desktop, go to NVIDIA control panel, I already have it open, then go to manage 3D settings on the side, then from global settings click on program settings and select Apex Legends from this drop down menu. If it's not there, then maybe you haven't started up the game, or you can click add right here and you should be able to add the game. And the settings, you can look through all my settings right here, you can pause the video and look through them, but the main settings that you should really focus on are this one right here, CUDA GPUs, set that to all. You want to scroll down and make sure that texture filtering is on, and then texture filtering quality is on performance, or you can set this to high performance, but I just have it on performance. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. And texture filtering trilinear optimization, set that to on, and of course make sure that vertical sync is off, and this virtual reality pre-rendered frames, set that to 1, and also up here maximum pre-rendered frames, set that to 1 too. So these settings will just maximize your game and make sure that your computer is running as well as it can, and this will just maximize your FPS pretty much. So for this next tip, what you're going to want to do is go to your drivers and update your drivers pretty much. For NVIDIA, this is the GeForce Experience. I'm not sure what it is for AMD graphics cards. You could probably figure it out pretty easily. But for NVIDIA graphics cards, you're going to want to go to your search bar over here and type in GeForce Experience. You'll see it'll just pop up pretty fast. I already have it open, so I'm just going to open it up right here. And you'll start out on home right here. And you want to go to the drivers tab and then update your drivers. If it'll say like express installation or something if you haven't updated your drivers, and this can be really important because if you have old drivers, then it just won't run as fast as it can. I don't think there are new drivers out for this game yet because it just came out really recently, and right now some people are actually having crashing issues, so they're having to roll back their drivers, but they're coming out with new drivers soon, and those will pretty much fix all the crashing issues, they say, and you will get much more FPS out of these new drivers, so you definitely want to update your drivers as much as you possibly can. So for this next tip, this is actually going to be another kind of general tip just to speed up your PC in general and just all your games. You're going to want to go down to the search box down here and type in appearance and click right here, and you'll come up with the performance options for the visual effects. And if you want to get the maximum FPS, this won't increase it by a ton, but it'll definitely help out a little bit. So you want to go to adjust for best performance right here, and it'll uncheck all these boxes, or you can manually uncheck all of them. And this will just get rid of all the visual effects. I like some of the visual effects, so I leave them on. And the visual effects are just like, you know, it'll fade out when you close a window, or like it'll normally be blue when you highlight your cursor right here. I have that turned off just to maximize my FPS. And it doesn't really make a difference, but it will definitely help out your FPS. And if you want to get the maximum FPS and you don't have the best PC, then this is definitely a great option. So for this next tip, this is actually a pretty important one, and this is to make sure that you have no viruses on your PC. And if you have a virus, obviously this could mess up a lot of stuff. This could mess up just more than your FPS, but it definitely will mess up your FPS. And if you have a normal antivirus, then you can use that. I don't really have an antivirus on my PC other than the default Windows one, so I'm just going to show you how to do it with that. So you want to go to your search bar again over here, type in Windows Defender, and then you see Security Center right here. Click on that. And then you'll see the shield. It says virus and threat protection, no action needed. It may say that you need action needed, I don't know. So click on that shield right there, and you'll see that you can scan now right here. Scan now for viruses, or you can click on here, run a new advanced scan, do a full scan where it'll scan your entire PC. And this will just guarantee you that you have no viruses and that you're getting the maximum FPS possible in games, and that you just aren't going to lose all your files, because viruses are obviously pretty bad for your PC and you don't want to get any of those. So for this next tip, you're actually going to want to open up Origin itself, which is obviously the launcher for Apex Legends, and if you have a desktop icon you can do that, or you can type in Origin on the start menu right here. I already have it opened, so just click on Origin and you should see all your games right here. I don't have many games on Origin, but I have Apex Legends right here, and you want to right click on it and go to Game Properties. then once you're at game properties, I'm not sure, I might have to blur this right here, but you want to go to advanced launch options, and right here you'll see command line arguments, and there's a little box right here, and this code, just type in exactly what I have here. I'll put it in the description. It is dash, I'll explain it right now, dash FREQ, that's frequency, I'm pretty sure, 144. So that'll set, you can put whatever here, you can put 60 or 240 or something like that, and that'll set your maximum frame rate. So I have a 144 Hz monitor, so I'm making sure that it won't cap out at 60, it'll go up as high as it can. No vid, that'll make it so there's no intro video, I'm pretty sure, at the beginning when you start up the game. And use all available cores, this will use all the available cores as it says for your PC. And this will just make sure that you get the maximum frame rate and that it's not locked or anything, and this will just help out a ton. So for this next tip, this is kind of a riskier tip. A lot of you might not want to do this. It's not actually risky, so I'll explain it really quick. It's to overclock your PC. Now you can do it with a program like MSI Afterburner like I have right here. And what you want to do is you can look up a tutorial video. I'll link some tutorial videos on how to overclock in the description. And this basically lets you get the maximum performance out of your PC. Some people say that it's risky, so if you don't want to risk anything, then just don't do this tip, but it can definitely increase your FPS by quite a bit. And if you do it right, then there's no real risk to it. It's just some people think that it's risky because if you do it completely wrong, then you could kind of mess up the parts of your PC. So this is definitely a good tip for the more advanced PC users, but if you're not one of those, then I would not recommend doing this. So for this last tip, what I'm going to be doing is going into Apex and showing you the best settings to get the best performance. I'm going to link a chart in the description that also shows this in greater detail. It shows all the percentages that you need and everything, but I'm just going to be going through it in the game right now. So go into settings and then go to video, and I will be going through all the settings pretty much. So display mode first, you want to make sure that it's on full screen. If it's on borderless or something or windowed, you can get a lot of mouse delay. Aspect ratio, you can keep this at native. Resolution, keep this at native, although you can turn it down if you really need that extra FPS, but I would say leave it at native for the most part. Field of view, this is pretty much personal preference. It says that it's not. I haven't seen any difference changing the field of view. If you really think it's that much of a concern, you can just leave it at 90 or put it a little bit lower. Colorblind mode, obviously that's if you're colorblind. VSync, pretty much disable this. Some people have said to set it to adaptive 1/2 rate. I don't think that that's worth it, and I've tested that and I haven't found any differences, and it hasn't seemed to change anything. It might give me a little bit more mouse delay, which is pretty much bad. So you don't really want to mess around with that. Just as a general rule, keep VSync off. Adaptive resolution FPS target. This isn't a great setting. It sounds pretty good, but I've never seen anyone use it, and I don't think that it's actually that great because it'll turn down your resolution and try to reach a certain FPS threshold, and I just would not mess around with this setting. Anti-aliasing. Off looks pretty terrible, to be honest. You can turn it off, but I don't think it's great, especially for this game, because it just has some weird effects and it can kind of throw you off in the game. So if you need the extra FPS, you can go to none. I've noticed a great difference setting it to TSAA, so I leave it on TSAA. Texture streaming budget, you can set this to the lowest unless you actually care about looks, but I don't think you're watching this video if you care about looks. Texture filtering, I keep it on trilinear. It doesn't make a big difference to go from trilinear to bilinear, so you can make a judgment call there. I don't think it really makes a difference either way. Ambient occlusion quality, definitely disable this. This will make a huge difference, and this is one of the biggest factors in all the settings. You can set both these to low right here, the sun shadow coverage and sun shadow detail. Shadows are always pretty bad in games for FPS. Spot shadow detail, disable that. Volumetric lighting disabled, dynamic spot shadows disabled, and pretty much set all of these to low at the very end. You can turn up model detail if it really means that much to you. It might impact your FPS a little bit though, and so will effects. Impact marks will really make no difference overall, and I don't believe ragdolls will either. So anyway, that's it for the settings, and I will now go to the outro. So anyway guys, that was my FPS guide for Apex Legends. I hope it did help you out. This definitely helped me out, some of these tips, and I don't believe that there was a great FPS guide on the internet before this, so hopefully this will help out a whole lot of people, and hopefully my Activate Windows logo up here didn't mess you up too much. If this video did help you, be sure to share it with your friends and subscribe, and I will be making some more tutorial videos soon, so stay tuned for those. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, favorite, and share the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!